Hello everyone and welcome! This week I had some fun editing some footage that we captured towards the end of last year before it got too cold and snowy like it is now. As you'll know if you've been watching this channel for really any length of time, I certainly enjoy building some lifelike RC models with custom components and 3D printed chassis, really trying to achieve as authentic of an appearance as possible. But what do you do when the car is complete? Well, aside from just driving them, I certainly enjoy getting them out and getting some nice static shots. Some of these pictures I'll post both here in the community tab of this channel, as well as on our other social media pages. But I guess you can do that with any old model. Therefore, we like to capture these models in action, racing through some of these humble sets we've put together with cardboard and paint, and have some fun creating scenarios like this, trying to achieve a lifelike appearance. It's good fun and also a bit of a challenge, trying to, well, I guess first of all, just successfully drive through some of these sets. These tiny cars can be a bit difficult to handle in certain scenarios. Combine that with my driving skills, or lack thereof. Keep in mind everything's happening a lot faster than it looks before we slow down the footage to make it look more realistic. But there's many times too where I don't want to simply make a turn, but just like you see in the movies, I want to try and get some oversteer and make it look a bit more dramatic and interesting. The suspension squat and rear end getting loose makes these simple shots look a lot more like the real thing. I really got the suspension set up well for that on this 83 Camaro. It can be a bit tricky to hold it in a straight line while accelerating, but it certainly does look cool. Of course, if you're new to this channel and would like to learn more about any of these vehicles, I have tons of full build videos and tutorials going over how each of these cars was created, so definitely check out those videos for more information. I'll link both the full build videos for this 77 Trans Am and C6 Corvette below in the description. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to do a lot of filming like this in 2025, so no car chases or movie recreations or anything like that were done, but I'm hoping that'll change this year, as I certainly have no shortage of ideas for future stunts and car chases. I'll be doing my best to make the time to not only get out there and record the footage, but also get it edited. This is also all being done outside, so the weather does play some role in all of this. But before we know it, the temperature will be getting much warmer around here, which will be perfectly suited for some backyard Hollywood car chase shenanigans. Something that's not dependent on the weather though, is of course building these radio-controlled vehicles, but another thing I've been having a lot of fun with is building these props that you see here. The budget, if you couldn't tell, is pretty close to zero, with a lot of these buildings being made with literal trash, though a bit of detail painting and some 3D printed items really helps to elevate the appearance while not requiring a ton of time or labor. Like with anything, it's a balance of budget, time, and effort, and while I'm not sure I would necessarily be putting these buildings on a model railroad, I think I'm getting pretty good at creating some lifelike props, and they can really give the appearance of a real building in some of these shots, both in these videos and in some of these static pictures. Honestly, building these sets is one of my favorite parts of making these videos, but figuring out how to use a green screen has also really helped to add a lot more depth, considering the small amount of space that we're working with here. These types of special effects, or whatever they would be classified as, is definitely well outside my wheelhouse, so the green screen can only really be used for some shots where the camera isn't moving if I want it to be most effective. But we'll see how far down the rabbit hole I want to go when it comes to utilizing the green screen and getting better at implementing these backgrounds. But obviously, as you can see here, it really does help just make the scene look a lot bigger. Something I'll definitely want to try and do next time is get this vinyl mat that we're using to lay down smooth. This mat works great for this, as it kind of gives the appearance of asphalt or concrete when filmed from this angle. It's also very smooth and slick, which I guess can be a little bit of a double-edged sword, as sometimes we want the cars to slide around, but if we don't, that could certainly make things a little more difficult. Something I noticed though with this most recent round of filming is you can sometimes see it move when the car drives over it, which also sometimes moves some of the buildings, which is not exactly desirable. Sometimes though, I do like the look of these bumps, as I think it makes the scene look more interesting and authentic with the road not being perfectly smooth, although it can make driving a bit more interesting at times. The temperature was cooler on this particular day when compared to the previous days we've recorded these types of videos, So this final mat that gets stored rolled up was not able to be warmed in the sun and smoothed out, so that had some unintended consequences that we've taken note of. Of course, it's always a crowd pleaser when you can smash through things, so that's definitely something we've taken note of for future car chase videos. We've got some pretty authentic trash bags here, made with smaller pieces of a full-size trash bag. I think there's some styrofoam and some sand in there to keep the bottom down and to give them some weight, but also still be easy to smash out of the way, just as you see here. I think something like the cliche panes of glass or maybe like a couch or something would be cool for future props to smash through, if we can make them break and crush just like the real thing would. That would be pretty awesome. This has also been a great opportunity to test out the 77 Trans Am and 2005 Corvette that I built last year. Both cars are working as they should, but I wish there was a bit more suspension movement on that Trans Am, more similar to that 83 Camaro that I've showcased previously. That is something that I could change in the future if I wanted to, but I do like how the Corvette leans back a bit while doing these donuts, though as discussed in the full build video, there's way too much play with that rear suspension. Looks pretty cool aside from that though. Looks like some typical C6 Corvette shenanigans happening here, but I've really had some fun looking back at this footage from a few months ago, and I hope you all have as well. Like I said at the beginning of this year, my goal is to be able to spend more time creating videos like these, especially the chase and stunt videos, which take quite a bit of time to make, but of course are very fun to do, and I know there's a lot of you in the audience who enjoy these videos as well. 2026 has gotten off to a great start with a lot of cool build videos being posted and currently in the works. Also got some more informative tutorial type videos being made to help out all of you RC model car builders. Of course, this is in huge part thanks to all of our Patreon and YouTube members helping to make these videos possible, as well as all of you viewers who watch these videos. Huge thanks as always. It's been a busy week for me personally, but I should have a new build video going up next week. Not one of those crazy high dollar internet breaking builds by any means, but I think it came out looking really nice and may inspire some of you in the audience to do a similar project. But of course, more on that coming soon. I certainly hope you'll stick around to check it out, but that's all I've got for today's video. As always, thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.